There is a story out today in the mainstream media that accidentally reveals a major weakness in the strategy of the left. Once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it. It is undeniable, irrefutable, and undebunkable. Now, to explain this, I've got to use a couple of examples. Who remembers way back in the first season of The Big Bang Theory? I'm sure some of you may or may not have watched this. It's this story about a bunch of physics geeks that are sharing an apartment, and one of them is clearly in the autistic spectrum, the Sheldon character. And across the hall, there is a young woman from Nebraska. She's a waitress trying to be an actress. She's very normal. Well, she gives them an emergency key to her apartment, and while she's sleeping one night, they sneak in and they completely rearrange her apartment and clean it. And the Sheldon character has no concept of why that is wildly inappropriate. They have an argument, and his roommate has to literally write the word sarcasm on a piece of paper to explain what she's saying. What if I told you this is real? That there are people out there that have no concept of boundaries and no concept of how the human mind actually works. Those of you out there with kids, if you got them all together and said, under no circumstances should you look in the attic for the Christmas presents, the unwrapped ones, they are definitely not there. Nobody go up there under any circumstances. It's kind of dirty and it's scary up there, so nobody go up there. What do you think their reaction would be? Well, of course, the first thing that they would want to do is go run up there because you told them not to do it. There are people that work for Google, people that work for YouTube, people that work for all of the big social media giants out in the West Coast that have no concept of that. They are the Sheldon Coopers of the world. I'm sure a lot of people are saying, Maki, you're oversimplifying it. It can't possibly be that easy. It is exactly that easy. They cannot program an artificial intelligence to understand the concept of reverse psychology. Now, what's my proof? What's the article? I'm sure many of you are aware of who the young woman on the left is. This is Kim Iverson. She is a progressive from California. She works with The Hill, where she does commentary. Now, her specific private YouTube channel has not been suspended, but the YouTube channel for The Hill has been. Why? They shared an unedited clip of a CPAC speech from the former president. Not the current one, but the last one. And because they didn't throw a disclaimer on it based on his opinion of what happened in 2020, they suspended The Hill. The Hill is a very left-leaning progressive news organization. Generally speaking, by California standards, you would call them probably independent, but for the rest of us, very left-leaning. Now, they were absolutely stunned at this, even this far into 2022, that it would have violated one of their tenets, things that you can and can't say. YouTube has temporarily suspended At the Hill's channel for violating one of its policies. For now, you can watch Rising. Here's the evidence of it. Now, who remembers? This is the logic bomb. This is the weakness that nobody is seeing in this. Who remembers A Few Good Men? Way back, 1992, Lieutenant Kaffee, Colonel Jessup. We've shared the quotes. Lieutenant Kaffee catches Colonel Jessup in a logic bomb. There's a young Marine that gets accidentally killed. He had the colonel had ordered other Marines to kind of tune him up to get him back in line, and he ended up not surviving it. Well, the colonel gave 2 orders. Order number 1, this particular Marine, Santiago, was not to be touched. But then he also said that Santiago was in grave danger, so he ordered him transferred off the base. The 2 orders argued with each other. If the Marines had been ordered to not touch him, why would he have been in danger? Now, I'm sure a lot of you are 5.5 minutes in. What does this have to do with anything? If social media, if those on the left had the ability to control elections, as many conspiracy theorists think they do with Dominion and all this, why would they be censoring anyone? Why would they care what anybody said? If they were in 100% control of the electoral process, which is what has been alleged by a lot of people, there's magical machines and thumb drives, and they can just flip this switch and so many votes appear here, there, all this. If that were true, why would they care what anybody said or what anybody's opinion was? Why would they have suspended the Hill? What are they so afraid of? Oops. You see, they don't have control. And they are afraid of voices like Kim Iverson. They are afraid of people standing up and saying, hey, this is wrong. This is censorship. This is improper, no matter who you're censoring or what's being said. See, it used to be just this. If there were a movie out or there were a TV show out or there was something out there that was controversial, you'd get an advisory. Sometimes it would say, viewer discretion strongly advised. Sometimes they would say PG-13 or rated R or NC-17 or something like that. And then they would let people make the decision for themselves. Why the 2 orders? Why the censorship? Why the heavy hammer? What are they so afraid of? They do not have the ability, and I can explain this. They do not have the ability to understand what we refer to commonly as reverse psychology. It's not something that's programmable into an AI. You can't program it. But someone tells me to do something I was already planning on doing, well, now I don't want to do it. And to add a cherry onto this Sunday, Kremlin accuses the West of excessive emotion. According to Moscow, EU and NATO member states are failing to understand very many obvious things. And this is exactly what is going on. You see, the controlling powers that be had this issue in the Dark Ages. That's why they said, no one may question the church. No one may question what the government says. No one may question what we have decided is the case. That's where the term heresy comes from. And this is just a couple hours ago from Kim Iverson. Where can I read about the Russian side of the war? The Telegram channel I follow has been cut off. Everything I'm reading is distorted and only showcasing the Ukrainian side. Some of it is obviously false. We need to hear both sides to get the truth, not looking for analysis, looking for pure reports of what's happening on the ground and what the leadership from both sides is saying. Now, this is how far the left has fallen. Will Smith, don't ever let someone tell you that you can't do something. You got a dream, you got to protect it. When people can't do something themselves, they're going to tell you that you can't do it. You want something? Go get it. Period. You want to get read in on the thought-based life? Do you want to divorce yourself from that ridiculous emotional state? Join us over the Patreon channel. Florida Maquis. 1, the lowest possible level allowed. US dollar per month. It's even less than that if you sign up for an entire year. It's only 3 pennies per day. These are the logic bombs that you'll be able to see once you get out of your emotional state. Now, I'm sure some people are probably like, but they can control, if they could control elections, they wouldn't care what you said. They wouldn't care what anybody said on social media, would they? You could say that the moon is made of green cheese and the sky is green and grass is blue, and they wouldn't care because they'd be in control of everything, but they aren't. They aren't in control. They don't have the ability to comprehend how wrong and inappropriate what they're doing is. Just like Sheldon Cooper. He thought he was doing a really great thing by taking that key, which was supposed to be for an emergency, and using it to rearrange this young woman's apartment to the way that he thought it should be while she was sleeping, because, of course, he knows better. Just like the social media overlords. They know better than everyone. They're literally trying to take the key and break into your apartment and rearrange your mental apartment and rearrange things, because once you realize how much better their way is, you'll thank them. You'll thank them. And that's what he was expecting. He couldn't understand why she was so angry. And how wildly inappropriate and how violating it was. They truly do not have the ability to understand this very basic thing. Because these people that work for Twitter, for Facebook, for Google, for all these big tech companies, they insulate themselves. They surround themselves with people just like them. So they don't have a real experience of life. They don't even understand the concept of reverse psychology. If they can't program it into an AI, it's not real to them. It's a mental dysphoria, and it's a huge opportunity to those who know how to use it. There are some progressives, and I have this from the highest authority, that are now, no matter what in the next election, they're voting for Donald Trump. Nothing else matters now, just based on this event alone. Think about that. There are some progressives out there right now, and I have it from the highest authorities, who have said unequivocally, no matter what the issue, they are voting for Donald Trump. Whoever is being suppressed the most, that's who is going to be voted for. Personally, I'm going to eat a lot of beef stroganoff. I'm going to go find a lot of Russian vodka. Heck, I might even get myself a little Siberian Husky puppy. Who knows? That's what happens when you are slaved inside your own mind to the point where you can't even see what's going on more than 3 inches in front of your face. And that's the key. And I'll leave it there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. Would love to have you over at Patreon. Once again, we have had so many people sign up. Thank you to everyone who has. It's making a big, big difference. Something else that the left can't comprehend. Why sometimes free isn't always good. Have a great weekend. God bless. See you next time.